City Matters.
Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Richard Acritelli, and on this podcast is a production of the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center of Nassau County. On today's episode of The Fog of War and Humanity here on hmTV, my special guest is Trisha Northover. Will join me for a conversation about her military experiences and about her work with Sail Ahead as a veteran and some of the wonderful experiences that she has with this program. Let's get started, Trisha. Where did you grow up as a young lady?
Hi. I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. I was born in Brooklyn, New York to West Indian parents, and they wanted me to have a traditional education. So I'm an island girl.
Okay. Was there a reason why they came to the United States?
More opportunity.
Did they come together or did they meet each
No,
other
my
here?
mom came by herself, and my dad stayed there. So that's how I was able to go back to him when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was probably one of the earliest things that you recall from Brooklyn as a young girl?
Coming back to Brooklyn, I guess. I'm a big fan of Junior's cheesecake. So,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cheesecake's good, right? So-
Strawberry slice every time.
All right, so it doesn't make you a bad person, right?
No. Just a greedy one.
Okay. So now you're in Brooklyn. Your parents are going to send you back to Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back to their homeland, right? What's one of the main reasons why you end up going back there?
I think for a slower pace, different values, and just I had a Catholic education. I went to Immaculate Conception High School, all girls high school. So it was just it's what my mom wanted for me, is to be educated in that setting.
Was it pretty disciplined?
Very disciplined. Not only did we wear uniforms, you had to raise your hand to speak to the teacher. It was just a really great place to be a little girl, because there's, we call it the home of phenomenal women. And so many impactful women have come out of that institution from Jamaica. So it was a wonderful start to myself.
Was there any rulers or anything like that they?
The nuns definitely smacked us on our knuckles. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Discipline is.
It's huge. It's huge, and it makes such a difference. And looking backwards on my life, a lot of the characteristics that made me so successful in the military were formed from going to Catholic high school.
Was there any one thing that you found yourself getting in trouble over? Either one thing that you could help or you couldn't help?
I think that I was a bit of a chatterbox.
Okay.
I liked my friends. I liked being social. So I was always the last one to kind of, settle down in class. But, that's just me.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So now you're there. How long are you there in Jamaica for?
Between the ages of 4 and 17.
4 and 17. So do you graduate from high school down there?
I did. I did.
So you graduate, and then where do you go
And then
after
I come back to New York. I live in Huntington. My mom was in Huntington, so I came here and I went to CW Post.
Oh, wow.
Long Island University. Yeah.
Now, in those years that you were in Jamaica, were there times that you came back to New York?
All the time. All the time.
Okay.
I have friends that I know from my mom's neighborhood in Green Lawn, and I would spend summers there or Christmases. It just depended.
Okay. All right. So you kind of worked around your school schedule, and you're able to still come up here. So you had the best of both worlds, right?
I did.
You have your cheesecake here, right, on Long Island, and then
Jerk chicken.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then your Jamaica education, the weather, the beaches, the climate, and everything, right? So, all right, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So now you go to CW Post, right? What do you major in at CW Post?
Communications.
Wow.
Yeah, communications. I wanted to be an anchor at one point in my life.
What were some of those studies like there?
I worked at the radio station. I remember, interning there, public speaking, just, typical college classes, college 101.
Which radio station?
They have a radio station at Post.
Oh, at
I don't
Post itself
remember
there, huh?
what it's called exactly, but I just did all of those classes.
And that was at Brookville?
Right here.
Beautiful,
Very
beautiful spot, right?
Gold Coast, yeah. Very
You
beautiful.
had, New York Tech right next to it, and
Yeah.
Old Westbury was almost behind it, right? And really nice spot. Did you enjoy going there?
I did.
Yeah.
It was nice.
So
It was nice.
you end up going there for your
For my bachelor's.
bachelor's. So when do you graduate with your bachelor's?
I actually didn't graduate with my bachelor's from there. I left. A friend, I used to waitress on the weekends. And a friend of mine, her dad was a fireman, and he actually went down in one of the towers at 9/11.
Okay.
So myself and another friend were very much moved to a call of action. So I joined the military shortly thereafter.
So you were in college at CW Post as 9/11 was happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were your feelings when you?
It's interesting. The morning that the towers went down, I said goodbye to my grandma. She was in the kitchen, and I get in the car. And as I'm driving in, Angie Martinez is on the radio, and she breaks the music, and she's like, there's been an incident in New York City. By the time I get to class, they had canceled everything and said, hey, you guys go home. And I just remember it was super eerie because as I'm driving on the northern state going back to Huntington, all these fire
Are heading
police
west.
car heading west.
Right.
And it was such a surreal moment for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost like you had done something to someone, right? Like it's like.
It was scary.
It was scary.
It was very scary because I'm 19, 20 at the time, and I just felt the isolation of being on the island and not knowing because New York was burning, and I'm going the opposite way.
You never thought it was like something out of a Hollywood movie. Where you never see anything like that, right? And I was teaching in Hicksville, and they called up the military. Governor Pataki called up the entire military, and I walked out and said, I don't know, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not sure. And driving home on the Long Island Expressway was bad. Yeah. Everybody was just flying in, and then the fighter planes were coming overhead, and then they're, doing flyovers, and then some of my students actually said, have you been down to Jones Beach? I'm like, no, I don't go home that way. They're like, there's aircraft carriers off of Jones Beach, And I remember going down there, and I might have missed it by like a day or two. But you could see all the ships out in the Atlantic Ocean waiting, to get into the harbor itself. And there's certain things you never you forget. No matter how old you get, you'll always remember where you were, right? At college, and
That's right.
it was a beautiful day, right?
What it smelled like.
What it smelled like too, right?
Yeah.
So now you leave school and you go into the service, right?
Yeah.
So what was the big thing that drove you to go into the service?
I wanted to do something. I was incredibly patriotic at the time. I was young. I felt my country needed me. So I enlisted.
Did your Jamaican background kind of push that a little bit? You're a disciplined girl. You're down in Jamaica. You're getting the education. The Catholic nuns, I'm sure, had a little bit of a, influence on you, right? Your parents, they seem like very hard workers, very disciplined. Did they talk to you about like this country and like the good things about the country as you were growing up?
They definitely instilled a love for America. America's a land of opportunities. America is a land where you can come and fulfill your dreams and be somebody, be bigger than, attain your highest self. So that was inside of me at that point, and I definitely felt a call to service. Also, my friend had lost her dad, and what can I do? I can go serve. So that's what I did. So, that was one of the factors, is that I really wanted to do something.
Now, you go to Fort Hamilton, right?
I went through Fort Hamilton, and I did basic training at
So were you
Fort Leonard Wood.
Okay, so you were Army.
I was Army.
Yeah, I
I'm an
was
Army
there
girl.
7 years before you.
Okay.
And there wasn't probably any changes.
Wait, through Fort Hamilton?
Well, Hamilton and then Leonard Wood.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Fort
gosh.
Lawson Woods, yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like it hails one day, it's sunny the next,
Yeah.
it's raining.
You never knew how to dress.
No,
right?
no, you didn't.
So,
And it was miserable.
and it's a lot different than Jamaica and
It is.
Brooklyn and Huntington.
It
and,
is.
You know, you can't get a decent slice of pizza down there.
No,
Right?
I think when I look back on it, I wanted to prove that I could do it. I was very much a young girly girl. No one thought that I would be able to even
Sure.
lift an M16,
Yeah.
much less qualify. So I definitely did that.
You go in. When do you enlist? What month do you enlist?
January 2004 is when I ship out.
Okay.
I think I had done like maybe the September 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have drill sergeants who were overseas or anything like that, where they kind of said you have to take this stuff seriously?
I don't know. I don't remember specifically any one of them being like a war veteran, but I knew that they were definitely training us as if we were going to go to the war. Yes.
They told you to take it seriously. That this is
because there was conflict in Iraq at the time,
Yeah.
so they were definitely mission focused.
Afghanistan too, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So now you go to Leonard Wood. You graduate from basic training. What was one of your biggest challenges in basic training itself there?
Making it out of basic training.
What, the physicalities?
Right, the physicality. You know, I was like a small girl.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that I struggled to qualify. You know, I was like the last round, and they were like, "Hey, if you don't do this, you won't be able to graduate."
Yeah.
So, you know, firing my weapon was a challenge. I assimilated pretty quickly as far as like getting up early and, you know, eating quickly. That stuff wasn't hard for me. I think missing my family.
Eat now, taste later. Right.
Right.
Okay.
I still stand to eat.
So your family end up writing you?
They did. They you know, they were supportive of me the whole time, and my mom and my aunt drove down from New York to Fort Leonard Wood for the graduation. So that was pretty special.
Heck of a drive, right?
It was.
Okay, so
Glad I wasn't in that car.
yeah. Well, you graduate. It's an immensely proud feeling, right?
Absolutely.
Did you get any extra rank for having time in college?
Yes, I I graduated basic training, I believe, as a private first class.
Okay.
And then within that first year, I was promoted to specialist.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
a good
Absolutely.
thing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So now, where do you go for your AIT?
I went to Fort Sam Houston
Okay.
to do medical training. I was a combat medic, so I went there to do that. And that was, I think, maybe another 3 months.
Now, what were the differences between Fort Sam Houston and did you like that better than Leonard Wood?
I did. The weather definitely in Texas is better. Also, we
Drier,
had a little bit, warmer. We had a little bit more freedom as far as now being soldiers officially, so
Sure.
we could do more. We could take weekend passes. And there was like a sense of relief, you know, because it wasn't becoming a soldier. Now it's just learning my job.
Was that part of the experience in terms of, all right, I'm out of here at Fort Leonard Wood? Like I went 3 blocks away.
Oh,
I just stayed on the base.
Oh, you did one site.
Yeah. That was one site. So, you know, some people were able to travel and go somewhere new, and you know,
It was fun. It was the early days of my military career were definitely fun because everything was new and exciting.
Sure.
So yeah, I definitely had a good time in that training.
Did you have experienced instructors when you started going on the medical side there?
Yeah, they were. I think that all the training that you receive in the military is exceptional and excellent because they know that you are doing the most important job and it's important to train you very well. So I received excellent instruction.
I would think, right,
in the
being
military.
medical
Absolutely.
in the middle of the war on terror with troops in Iraq, Afghanistan. You had troops all over the place in different areas too, where the medics aren't going to be too far behind.
No. Not only did we get basic medical training, which, you know, equivalents to like emergency medical technician basic. That's every medic in the United States Army is an hmTv. But we also had opportunity to do additional trainings, which of course I took advantage of and became, you know, additional additional burn training. So if you wanted to specialize, they were going to go ahead and make sure that you could be able to do those things too.
Was there any one part of the medical that you liked doing it? You found like really interesting doing?
I'm still in the medical field as a person now, so I think all of it. I think service, helping other people, is at the core of me. So it's like a simple move to just do that in service of others.
So now you said one of the main things you got in trouble with in school is laughing, being friendly, right? Probably glasses half full, right?
I'm a people person.
You're a
What
people
can I
person.
say? I am.
So that's got to help you
It does.
in terms of alleviating some stressful situations, right? Person sees you, they see you smiling, right? You're engaged with them. Was that a positive in terms of the training for you? Did anybody say to you, this is a good quality to have, you're going to take their mind off of a rough situation here?
Not necessarily say it in training, but in lived experience. Once I did get to Afghanistan, and I was taking care of people downrange, like it made all the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Is being able to empathize and connect with the patient. So, absolutely, throughout my entire career, it's an asset when you actually care.
Sure.
And it's not just work for you.
There's got to be some sincerity to it, right?
Because it's care.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Care. Yeah.
All right. So now you're at Sam Houston. You graduate from there. You're probably like a specialist by now.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a specialist.
So now, what does the military say to you after you graduate from AIT? Where do your orders point you towards?
My orders sent me to Fort Bliss, Texas. That was my first duty station, to the 31st Combat Support Hospital, which is a field hospital that's based out there. They were actually deployed to Iraq at the time. So I was considered, I can't remember exactly, backfill?
Backfill, yeah.
Backfill. I was considered
because there's
backfill.
responsibilities still here that need to be done, right?
And I had just been assigned to their unit. So I backfilled there. There was some, when I first got there was some type of, back and forth about if to send us over. But they just, because I wasn't the only one that reported. So they decided against it because the cash was absolutely, they were on their way back. Okay. Within I think 3 months, within 3 months of us
so
getting
it wasn't
there, they
worth
came back. No.
Sending you over there, right?
No, so so I was backfill until they came back from their first, from their deployment.
It probably worked out better, right? Because you're younger, you're still relatively new to the military, they're not throwing you into the fire just yet. You're still getting your feet wet, right? And you're handling these different responsibilities, right? And,
interestingly enough, one of the responsibilities of the people in the cache in the back is logistics. So I had a ton of time to actually learn all the equipment.
Wow.
What it took to be responsible for the equipment. So that I was, I learned that side of it.
What type of equipment did you work with?
It's a combat support hospital is a fully functional hospital, intense.
Wow.
So it's all medical equipment. I mean, MRIs, CT scanners, hospital beds, gurney, suction machines, anything that is in a regular hospital is assigned to a cache. So we would have to,
be proficient, right,
on those items. Yeah.
Wow. So a lot of different moving parts, right? I mean, did you have soldiers that were from that base who were wounded and they came back to the base itself there?
Not at that time.
Or were they going to Germany or?
Once I did deploy, like I know what happens is once a soldier, a service member gets hurt in combat, the directive is within 23 hours they have to be on an airplane on the way to Landstuhl in Germany. So once I did deploy with a cache, that's what we would do. Within 23 hours of that service member getting to us in the cache, they would have to be on a bird.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
All right. So now you're there for a couple of months, and then they come home from where? Where do they come home from?
Iraq.
They come home from Iraq. Where were they in Iraq?
I think Balad.
Okay.
And another.
Now, where is that Balad there? Is that?
I don't know. I didn't go to Iraq, but I know that they were in Iraq at that time. Bastion, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't go on that deployment. I was there when they came back.
Do you recall how they looked when they came back?
How I looked when I came back.
Tired.
They were tired. They
right?
were tired, but they got a lot of time off. A lot of people reunited with their family. You know, they had missed their family. Reintegration or redeployment is challenging. And I just remember a lot of people having issues with that. But
what would be some of the issues itself?
From my own reintegration, I know that life is a bit surreal when you first come back from a war zone. Little things like going to a McDonald's can be an existential experience because you get to choose not only what you want to eat, but no one's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like, so there's definitely a cognitive dissonance that happens once you come back from a place that's incredibly unsafe to a place that is safe.
Did some of them have a hard time? Like, I had Chad Lennon. He's actually, he grew up around here. He was in the Marines. He went to Wagner. He could see 9/11 from Wagner. And then it's the same thing like a couple of years after that. He had gone to the Marine Corps, became an officer. He was in the Helmand province, right? Very, very dangerous and busy area, right? And when he was driving, coming home in San Diego, he couldn't believe how fast people were driving. Like, he's doing 40 miles per hour and people are doing 75. And he was just kind of remembering what he had just done. So it's flashbacks, right? It's what you're used to. And right, I would imagine it's probably tough to get adjusted almost back to civilian life a little bit too, right?
It is. For a very long time, I just felt very unsafe. And it would be different things, you know, just loud noises or helicopters. I had an aversion for helicopters for a very long time.
Now, when they came home, did you have an idea that you were going to be sent somewhere? Were they pretty much telling you that you're eventually going to go somewhere?
I think just being in the military at that time, you knew you were going to be somewhere. What happened is that I went to, I did a short term in Korea. I actually became pregnant with my son, and then I was reassigned to West Point. And then once I was at West Point, I got my time up to go.
Where were you in South Korea? Were you up near the DMZ?
Camp Camp Hovey, which is right by Camp Casey.
Okay.
And it's not too far from the DMZ. We weren't the first camp by the DMZ. I think we were like the second. Yeah, Dondeshan.
Okay. Like,
Dondeshan.
I mean, South Korea is not a large place, so you're never really too far.
No, I was about an
there.
hour and a half north of Seoul.
Wow.
But it was very cold there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for maybe 3 or 4 months.
What did you think of South Korea when you were there?
Food was good. Shopping was nice.
Yeah? You got some good deals over there?
I did. But also...
See, there's a laugh.
Right.
This is a good laugh,
I was married at the time, and I actually went over there pregnant, unbeknownst to me. So because I was pregnant, you can't have a child there.
Sure.
So they sent me back to West Point.
Okay. Did you have a chance of going up to the DMZ? And
No, definitely not, and definitely not in my condition.
yeah,
I stayed and I did sick call at the base there. So I would just see the sick soldiers, triage them and then send them to the doctor or to the pharmacy, depending on what they had.
has to be a busy, right? Was there about 35, 40,000 Americans over there?
It was, but you know what? The guys there are pretty rowdy and they would break curfew all the time. So I remember not sleeping very well, being cold.
Yeah.
And the guys would be, they'd break curfew.
Would they go to Seoul?
They would go to Seoul. They would go hang out with the ladies on the outside of the base, and we all would have to pay for it.
Good friend I served with, he did a couple podcasts here, and he went to Iraq, right? Mm-hmm. But he was in Seoul as a young guy, and he was like 19 years old. He's in a cab, and take me back to this military base. He drove him all the way up towards the DMZ. And then he goes, all of a sudden, you don't see any lights, you don't see signs, everything gets quiet.
Oh my gosh.
And he goes, I sobered up real fast, right? He goes, I'll give you $50, get me back down there, right? He went down there, he goes, I almost killed the guy, we got on the base. And he goes, literally, it's a dangerous It's a dangerous place. It's really a tale of two borders.
It is. That's
right?
why they have a curfew.
Yeah. You have, what is it? It's the 8th largest trading partner with the United States and like the 12th or 13th largest economy in the world. Oh, wow. And then on the other side of the border is this archaic communist, it's nuts, it really is. So
it really is.
All right, so we're going to come back for a second episode. We're going to talk to Trisha about her experience in the service, being sent overseas, and medically working with other soldiers in the field. Please return here to hmTV and the Fog of War and Humanity.